Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys another brand new 2024 album review. And as you can see, the title today we're going to be talking about the new album from the band Striker entitled Ultrapower, which is released today under Record Breaking Records. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Striker, they're pretty much a heavy metal band based out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Been around since 2007. And I've been a fan of these guys. I first heard of these guys back in 2017 or so. I think I saw them play with Dark Tranquillity and Warbringer, or back at the Masquerade. Since then, I've heard them. I thought they were pretty good. And they've, like I said, been around since 2007. And this is the band's seventh full-length album, and this follows up their previous album, which came out in 2018, entitled Play to Win. So with this album, does this kind of live up or exceed what Striker has? I think it's definitely has. It's pretty much about equally about that same kind of vibe. The production on this album is tight. It pretty much has that old school heavy metal vibe, but pretty much retains sort of like a modern twist to it. The production on here is great. I think I already said that. But then we talk about like the vocals from Dan Cleary. In my opinion, I think Dan's vocals really improved. I think the way he sings is just really just catchy and in your face. The guitar work on here is pretty tight from Tim and John. And both of their guitar playing is tight. The way they come up with the riffs is great. And then the bass playing on here from Pete Klassen is fucking superbing. And then the drumming, I'm not really sure who played drums, since back in 2022, Yona Webster had left the band, so they have a session drummer. So forgive me if I don't know who it is, just leave me in the comments. So without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is Circle of Evil, which I believe was one of the first singles released from this album, and this track is amazing. It starts off with sort of like a massive choir and sort of like evil-sounding laughter, but then it goes into sick riffs. And one thing I really think that stands out with this song, especially the chants of the word Circle of Evil, I think is just the way it's chanted just gives it really a pumping kind of vibe to it. And I encourage anybody to like listen to this song. It's a really great way to kick off the album. Then moving on to Best of the Best of the Best. Let's try saying that 5 times fast. This pretty much shows that Striker are really great to add different influences to their music. It has a really great riff in the background with sort of like the synths and the woes, which gives it almost kind of a poppy kind of vibe to it. And then the group chants of the song title again only adds the pop metal feeling. But then the last 20 seconds takes the song out with classic riffage and a nice high-pitched scream, which this song I'm kind of a little bit iffy on. Give It All is up next. Now this song is very mid-tempo, and it has a bit of an anthemic vibe lifted straight from the 80s with a hard-hitting backbone, and it kind of leans more into like that 80s rock sound than the traditional heavy metal sound that everybody, including myself, loves so much. And it also surprisingly has a saxophone, which I'm not sure about, but apart from that, I feel like the song is great. Next song on the album is called Blood Magic. Now this song starts off with some acoustic guitars, which kind of that feels kind of interesting. And this song has a concoction of heavy metal madness, some signature woes, and the twisting and ever-changing ideas. And throw in the stripped back moments, or basically drums and synths and soft vocals, that really makes it unique. But I just think it's just not it. But I feel like my favorite part here is the colossal kind of guitar pattern that will rip you apart. And then the solos here are just electrifying. Next up is Sucks to Suck. Now, this song has more of the woes and the dirtier, kind of edgier feel, and I feel like it compares to the last song, but it feels completely opposite in so many ways, yet with the musical sessions feel on par with sort of like heavy metal stuff that I love, and the shouts of the word Sucks to Suck honestly doesn't really do much for me. Next up is Ready for Anything. Now this song just comes in like a freight train with screeching guitars and squeals before returning to that kind of like hard rock metal that we love. One thing that really stands out is that Striker figured out a way to combine genres so effortlessly, and I love sort of like the kind of like the hair metal moments of like Motley Crue and stuff with the production and the big choruses. And the solos in here are probably much one of my favorite albums, or favorite of the album so far, Can't Even Speak, and has a really great song, and it feels really good, and it just sends you shivers down your spine. City Calling. Now this shouts hey right at you before introducing you to sort of like the voices, and then the Striker combines like the various musical influences once again and shows that they are not afraid to experiment. And I think Ultrapower is pretty much their most experimental album to date. It has some really great moments, sick, silky vocal lines and drums that just pound. It's very hard rock, it's metal, and also has some poppy moments. Another song that strongly delivers. Turn the Lights Out. Now this song has kind of an evil vibe to it, and it's just very fierce that pretty much steamrolls anything. And the group vocals sound a little bit punky, but once again the guitar work gives it a nice injection of like speed, and this is straight to the point and no bullshit. Thunderdome is up next. Now this song just turns on the swagger, and this is one of those songs that I could describe as sounds like something from like a movie in the 80s. Has that sort of like 80s rock sounds that you would expect from like Guns N' Roses. As in the verses here has a really great choir, and the lead vocals just lift you up off the ground. And I just love how the chorus here is just has a lot of layers to it. With the tambourine jingles in the background, it's just a brilliant song. Next on the album is called Live to Fight Another Day. Now this song yet again transports us back to the 80s, and this really makes me laugh and smile in so many ways, but it's just hard. It just has like, this song has a deep pulsating synth that is paired with like other synths that make you feel like you're floating. And this song kind of sounds like you're watching like an 80s sci-fi movie, and the choruses here are really to the point, and I just think it's really great. Then we close things out with Brawl at the Pub. Now this song rings in a great attitude, who pretty much like any other bands of their genre pretty much have brought over the years. And I think this song definitely has good moments, but I feel like I feel like it kind of falls a little bit. It doesn't really like stand out to the other tracks on here. That's just me. It's just, I don't know. When I first hear this song, maybe it'll just grow on me over time. But that's just what I have to say, and that's my opinion. So overall, Ultrapower by Striker, pretty good album. So I'd give this album a score. I'm going to give Ultrapower by Striker a solid 8 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review of the new Striker album, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.